Hello? Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Good morning. You're very welcome to today's live stream where we take the Black Square Caravan for a jaunt out here in Fiji. We're going to be using OnAir as we explore the upcoming companion app and generally just go flying in one of the best planes in the sim. Brilliant. Hope you're all keeping well. I've been flat out this morning, right? And I'm waiting on a man to make a delivery. Right, I have my cameras on here so I can keep an eye on him. But I hope you're keeping well. It's a cold 10 degrees here this morning in Tipperary, and it's raining and all sorts. But we're here. We get to stay inside and go flying. So it's going to be great. So hope you're keeping very well. Whatever it is you're up to, working, lurking, on the DOS, right? I don't know. Maybe you're doing something. Maybe you're doing that one thing you shouldn't be. But welcome in. And yes, looking forward to this flight. Busy one today. We're going to be flying this morning. And then we have some Formula 1 this evening. That should be loads of fun. So yes, been practicing on me. Well, I haven't. Well, I have. Do you ever see those race car drivers? You know, they drive the tracks in their mind. Yeah, that was me. It was a Skoda, but it was grand, you know, it still did the job. But yeah, I gotta say, we had a very good experience last night with multiplayer with Sim Update 5. Genuinely a very good experience because we were able to utilize the Microsoft servers, high fidelity model matching, and it was a mix of airliners and fighters, which usually don't play nice with model matching, especially the airliners. And we flew into Las Vegas with custom scenery, and it all relatively behaved, you see. So let's see how it all evolves. But just like all our daytime streams, if you know, it's a great chance if you have any issues with the sim or any questions, well, do be sure to ask. And if I know the answer, I'll tell you. If I don't know the answer, I'll wing it. I'll tell you something not very true, but we'll figure it out together. Hello there. So we'll see what the crack is. Who's joining us this morning? Cornwolf is here. Good morning, buddy. Hope you're well. Spitfire RAF 100 is here in the chat. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're well. Norse Viking is here. Tamal, you're very welcome aboard. Thank you for 10 in a row. Cheers, buddy. Chalks is here. He says, good morning all from a very stressed out work lurk situation. Oh, Jesus. He says, hope everyone is having a better day than us. Tell us all about it, Chalks. What are they doing? Did your man with the face say something? You know, Eamon 1973, good morning to you. Cribinator is here. Bio Games, good to see you. He says, let's see if multiplayer is fixed today. Yeah, I gotta say, man, I mean, yesterday it worked really well. We did 2 flights last night. Edwards Air Force Base up to, where did we go? Las Vegas, and then Las Vegas to Area 51, where we saw a Ryanair plane. I mean, it makes total sense, you know. So, yes, loads of fun. 98 Vulcan, hope all is well. Creo, very good morning to County Mayo, and you're very welcome in. Witty Gaming is here. Sir Camsalot, my dude. Good to see you, man. Hope you're well. Crafty Tigers, happy Tuesday, buddy. Gar Gaming is here. Hello to everyone in County Galway. Hope all is well. Lear is in the chat. Good to see you, Lear. Hope you're well. Filthy, good morning. Mr. 90 is in the chat as well. And Willow, how much? Welcome aboard. He says, morning, Murph. Morning, Murph, and all the famous fireflies. I lost English last night. I couldn't speak, you know. I'm slowly but surely getting over it. Able to return to being able to speak English. I was using some sort of a language, ancient language called Fluent Moron. I was getting all my words jiggeried up and right. It was grand, you know. I had coffee this morning, so all is well. Sumner, good morning. Jeez, you're up early. Simblitz is here. Good to see you, buddy. What time of day is it with you? It's almost tomorrow. Jesus, great to see you, man. But yes, I'm putting the kettle on and coffee started. Great options. Yes, great. Heisenberg is here. Good morning. Also early for Heisenberg. Good morning, buddy. Quokka is here. Vinyl Rabbit, good morning. Stu Snape is in the house. Working and lurking. Don't tell anyone. Shh. It's only us. We'll say nothing. 140 streams, Stu. Thank you very much indeed, buddy. Have a great day at work. And then Simblitz is in with a second month of tier 1. Dude, thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, if you haven't already, check out Simblitz's channel. It's over on YouTube and it's very good. He makes high quality videos. I did watch them and I'd be saying to myself, Jesus, how did he make it look like that? Brilliant, right? But you're very welcome in, buddy. And thank you so much indeed for the 2 months. Energizer is here. Good evening. Wait, it's the morning. What day is it? Who am I and how did I get here? Energizer, who woke up head first in a sleeping bag, trying to open the zip with his toes. You're welcome in. Hello, Mrs. Right, Mrs. Tutone is not well today, lads. No, she's here at home, and I'm going to be very quiet. And the great Who's band, who's tending to her every need. So I'm in here, but yeah, she got a bad owl knockout now. But she'll be all right. We hope. She's just kind of chilling out, and she's to put up with me. And usually the cat would be in here, but of course, Mammy's here, so the cat has gone upstairs. I've been discarded, right? But anyway, Captain McCoy, good to see you. We're surrounded by idiots, Murph. Let's leave it at that. Okay, Chocks. Do you know what I do now in times like that, right? If there's a field nearby, any sort of field, if you walk, and you have to do it this way, if you walk into the top left-hand corner of said field and just start shouting, roaring at clouds, at the air, and then when you come back, things will actually have improved. It's like, if you're at home and you're having a bad day, get into the shower cold with all your clothes on, because your significant other will absolutely bait the head of you. Or if you live alone, you'll regret it the next day, and then you'll have something new to care about or worry about. We do these things. But anyway, hope you're well, Chocks, and, tell them to shag off, right? Grimmy is here, good morning, lurking whilst working. Well, you're very welcome in. How's the broken shoulder? Oh, Sir Camsalot, come here now. Do you know, I had a peaceful sleep. I got a decent sleeping score with my Apple Watch. Yes, and I found it a little bit, I didn't get asleep till about 1:30. Right, stupid. You get into bed at a reasonable hour and you'll say, I'll go on the iPad and then if it doesn't fall off the roof of the building and bat you in the nose, you'll stay awake because your brain is now stimulated and you're looking at your iPad like this with one eye open, and then you realise it's 1:30 and you say balls, and then you try and go to sleep. Right, but yeah, very good point, Stu. I mean, my shoulder sore. I used to be able to do this, right? I can only do that now. But Stu says we know that excuse will be used tonight. Oh yeah. If the driving isn't great, there's Murphy now racing. Do you know he has a sporting injury? I fell in my garden yesterday doing gardening. Fell in my yard. Pulling hedge off the shed, and But anyway, I'm feeling I'm looking much better. Right? Yeah. But yes, concussion or TBM for the hedge flight. For the hedge flight. TBI. Oh wait, yes. Where's this now? None of that. Too kind. Not at all. Tarnish is here. Good morning. He says, yesterday was May the 4th be with you. Today is Revenge of the 5th. For crying out loud, can we not just leave that mess over? It's Star Trek, lads. This Star Wars, it'll never take off. It'll never get a following. It just won't be popular. It is ridiculous. It's not realistic at all. Star Trek, on the other hand, very realistic. It absolutely will take off still, unless they want to do another friggin' Starfleet Academy, which is like, that's how to ruin a franchise. One, please. But yes, Revenge of the 5th, brilliant. I do hope she gets better, Crafty. Thank you very much indeed. And Creo says the same. You're very kind. Now, let me see. Ian Fisher, good morning, Ian. Hope you're well. Eamon says, so you're telling Chocks to get into a field and look like an idiot? No, it's all about unleash the fury, Eamon. Unleash the fury. That's how you stay young and keep your boyish good looks. I should know, Right, Gav is here, good morning. Jesus, there's buttons. One Foxy Bingo, Gav, good morning. Vinyl Rabbit says, need to give your significant other a bit of private time. Help with the sleep. Be the Jays, behave. Right, Weedy says, well, let's hope it does not crash to Saj. Wait, me Haas didn't cross the line. Haas, though, I mean, without Gunter Steinberg, wasn't it? Yes, Gene. Without him, Haas is dead to me. They needed Gunter. He was just the best thing about the team, do you know? But anyway, Ozfight Simmer is here. I'm always stimulated in bed watching Murph. I will say no more. Well, be the hokey. Shane, good evening. Hope you're well, buddy. And Yeah, that's not odd at all. Well, I must say, I do the same. Oh, yes, spend a lot of time in bed with Oz Flight Simmer and Simblitz and some of the guys. What? Yep. Sometimes, in fact, I have an iPad, right? Ah, Jesus! Brilliant. But anyway, Oz, thank you very much indeed. 48 months to the channel, Jay. Do you remember 48 months ago? Wasn't life so much simpler? You know, I mean, I haven't aged today, but in general, wasn't life so much more simpler? We didn't have things like Flight Sim 2024 and all this wonderful hardware and things and stuff. We used to use a pencil sharpener and a bicycle pedal to fly in our Sims. I fell over in the garden. I fell in the...
There's no camera.
There's no camera evidence, no. Oh, listen. That has identified a potential weak spot with our security system. I found a blind spot, and it just so happens I fell and planted myself. Don't be raging. Jesus. Anyway, where's this going, Murph? I don't know. We all what's this now? We all like a good cuddle and snuggle, right? Jesus. Gunter was great crack. He was brilliant. Gunter was brilliant. They need to bring him back. Do you know? But anyway, where's me mouse? Oh, it's over here, look. Right. Come in here now, lads, and shall we have a now look? Buttons, Murph. Matey is here, good morning. Whitcomb Sports Network is in the house. Johnny Mon. Good to see you, Johnny. Are you just finished work, Johnny? It's good to see a house all over that neck of the woods. Now let me see. G-Flow. Watch out, Murph. I've tried to fly these, or tried to fly there, and there seems to be some background server stuff going on. After waiting for my Comanche to warm up, I stuck my VR on, and I was greeted to 12 FPS. Ooh, BJany. Are you using any other add-ons, though? Because I noticed this morning, Flow got another update. Kubi Montana, good morning, Kubi. Hope you're well, buddy. But yeah, so Flow got an update again this morning, and with VR, as I was saying, with the new Pimax Super, I was having issues. It just whenever I engaged VR in Microsoft Flight Sim, instant CTD, and ever since Sim Update 5, it's working flawlessly. Best ever session I've had in a VR environment. Unbelievably clear, crisp, friggin' great frame rates. So I need to do more of that. Still have about 45 minutes left before you can go home. Be the Janie. Just FS Realistic. FS Realistic with VR could be messy, you know. Final Rabbit says, I experienced the same issue in the meta. Ooh. Yeah, I wonder G-Flow, just try FS Realistic. Maybe turn that off and see what happens, you know. But anyway, you're all very welcome in. It's great to see you here on a Tuesday. You know, I don't usually, the odd time I try and do Tuesdays, I'm usually very busy. Now, when I say I'm busy, you know, right? But I do, you know, to be very busy. But I'm waiting on stuff. I'm waiting on delivery. The man with the van. I've stuff on the way. I have a new NAS drive on the way. A Ugreen NAS. You know, because we use a VPS for like our trucking servers and Firefly Air, our virtual airline, and a few other bits and bobs, bots and all this kind of stuff. And it's an expensive owl kind of thing. It's like nearly 40 quid a month, every month. And I'm saying, hang on a second. And every time it doesn't always work. So it's wrecking me head. So I've new tech on the way, new gadgets on the way that well, hopefully over the next week or so I can set them all up. Do you know? So that's going to be a project inside for many hours, you know. Dazza Tiara, good to see you, buddy. Hope all is well. You're very welcome in. Yeah, Ugreen, they're new to it, Simblitz. I think they did this crowdfunding stuff. They did this crowdfunding stuff last year, the year before. And put it this way, right? When you talk about a NAS system, it was usually, you know, Symbology, or I think Western Digital did one. I know they do the hard drives. On me toe, did you hear it? I'm after catching me toe on me bin. Stupid thing. But anyway, Ugreen do them now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to grabbing the so it's the NAS, but it comes with like a 10 gig switch on the back for fast networking. Brilliant. It also comes with an Intel i3 processor, meaning that I could host a VPS on that. Because I can put or a virtual machine on it. Do you know what I mean? So it'll be interesting. I think I got some of their battery bank stuff. I've got some QNAP NAS. Oh yeah, QNAP are quite good. Looking to upgrade it, so let me know how it goes. 100%. Like, they've a lot of functionality to them. 8 gigs of RAM, expandable up to like 96, if you could afford RAM, right? But then when it's a 4-bay drive, and it can do, oh Jesus, it's like it can do over like 128 terabytes or something. Ridiculous, right? Gav says, I have a Synology NAS server. Great equipment. So Gibbo gave me his old NAS. And I gotta say, I mean, the thing does exactly what it says in the tin. The only issue now, though, it's a little bit dated and it struggles with kind of some of the newer apps. And Synology as an ecosystem, they've tons of software. But like, say like your cameras at home, they want like licenses. Like, well, you have to buy a license to have the camera feed. So it's like, oh, shag that. So, yeah, right. And as I said, Ugreen, I've been liking their stuff. I use Ugreen stuff throughout all my equipment. I've bits and bobs everywhere. It could be like friggin', well, what have I got? Like, it could be a battery or
dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Could be a battery, could be a plug. You know what I mean? I use, I've always liked the brand. So we'll give it an old shot. Ugreen do a nice little UPS. Oh, do the chocks. Ooh, nice. New hardware. Did you get some more screens? I reckon you could fit in you more. Funny you should mention that now. Well, I didn't get new screens, no. Like, I can use my iPad with my Mac. Oh, the Mac here in front of me, y'all. Look, that's new. Well, you can't see it. It's theirs. Oh, balls. I'm about to turn it on. Hang on. I need to turn it off here now. And I got a fancy mouse with it. Did you ever see one of these?
Can I get a refund?
Shag off. There's no refunds. Did you ever see one of these? This is a Logi MX Ergo S. 60% of the time, it works every time. Basically what it is, it's, what do they call them? A mouse that has like the thingy-majiggy built into the side, so you don't move it around like a mouse. You know, your thumb does all the work and your index finger. Hang on, I need to do this now. Look, hang on. Turn this on. I'll put in my password so nobody knows what it is. What's your password? This is the password. But yeah, a mouse with a big ball. Yeah, trackball. That's the one. Yes. Angry Bee, good morning. Muttley, good morning. So it's a trackball mouse. And get this, right? I charged this before I went to New Zealand. So, and I use it on the airplane between Dublin and San Francisco. I use it again between San Francisco and Auckland. I used the laptop over there a little bit. I then used it at the airport on the way back. I used it on the flight from Auckland to LA. And then I used it again from LA to Dublin. And I've been home now almost 3 weeks. The battery is at 85%. Isn't that absolutely science? So it is. But yes, very, very good. Now, I'm after turning this on and I didn't mean to, so I'm going to turn it off. The Owl Mac is a great bit of stuff, I will say. Basically, what the Mac is going to be doing, this is kind of like me mobile streaming solution. You see, I could go live from over there, or usually if I'm not in the house. Yeah, right. It makes total sense. But yes, the trackball gadget is brilliant. But yes, technically that's another screen, and then you can do like the screen link for the. Yeah, right. Brilliant. Did you pay another seat for the mouse? Right. I'm surprised they still make trackball mice. It's like late 90s, early 20s tech. Used to have them on the old big red trackball. Nice. I gotta say, they are absolutely incredible. And you can be like super accurate with these. Would you use them in flight simming? I don't know. Because I'm so used to, using the mouse to interact and moving things around. But you can certainly, like, it wouldn't be great for gaming. But I think for the likes of video editing, no, absolutely, it's brilliant. Because you have the roller ball, and then you have like the middle mouse wheel, and that goes up, down, it clicks in, but it also goes left or right. It's like strafe mode, right? But in the likes of whatever you're using for like video editing, you can kind of scrub forward and back. It's deadly, absolutely deadly. And you can bind it to a couple of different devices. It's very good, very, very good. But anyway, does it feel weird using your finger and not the palm of your hand? Legitimate question. No, it's ergonomically, it's better than a mouse, because like that's its normal position, right? So you can have it like that, or you can have it like that. But either way, no, it's your muscle memory. It's minutes, and you're just used to using it. Do you know what I mean? Very powerful bit of stuff. Best mouse was the little red rubber button on a keyboard. Do you remember those? Angry Bee's been using the Logi trackball for years. Great for everything except gaming. Yeah. I remember having to clean the mess out from the ball area. Sometimes it looks like the makings of a new pet. Yes, indeed. We're still talking about mouse, yes. But I think it's very good. For a laptop, I think it's excellent. Because you can use the trackpad and all this crack, but like, I mean, come on. You know what I mean? It's just better with a mouse. It's just better with a mouse. But anyway, right. When we get started, loads to show you here, lads. There's some cool things going on with OnAir, with this new companion app. And also, users of Say Intentions, just a reminder, you can actually link Say Intentions with OnAir, which is absolutely class. Let's say, for example, you take on a mission using OnAir. Well, Say Intentions can dial into that and actually give you that dispatcher, so you can call up the OnAir dispatcher through the radio. It's frightening what they can do now with technology. So we'll have a look at all that here now in a moment. And, well, I'll press this button. It turned off the light, look, and then we'll come over here, look. Ah, brilliant. I used to have a very fancy transition. Now, I need to leave my phone there because the camera is on looking at my door as I await the arrival of a man with a van to do our stuff. But our aircraft for today, this, of course, is the Black Square Caravan. Beautiful airplane. Nick did a tremendous job with this aircraft, and I got to see two of these up close and personal over in New Zealand. With Merlin is the name of them, and yeah, I just like the Grand Caravan. I think they're absolutely insanely good aircraft, and of course I jumped out of one of these shagging things, as you do. You know, I literally jumped out of one of these years ago. Ended up in a terrible mess. But anyway, what do we have here? We've gone with this kind of, you know, bland livery, basic livery. And we're currently on the ground here at a place called Nadi International Airport in Fiji. November, Foxtrot. November, right? So that's where we're currently situated. Got all our sounds and stuff turned on. And, well, as you can see, I mean, if you're new to this aircraft, if you haven't seen it yet, if you enjoy general aviation flying, this is a must-have. It is a must-have because it's just incredible. The performance is great, sounds are great, it flies great, capabilities and all the jazz, and the system's depth is just, it's fantastic, lads. This is an excellent airplane. So that is our chariot for today. So we'll jump into the cockpit here and we'll get the door closed. Mind your head now. And we'll lock that in. And we also have our cabin door, or in this case, our cargo door. Now we'll leave the cargo door open because we're going to be using OnAir here to hopefully load us up, right? So speaking of OnAir, so we have this. This is the new upcoming companion, right? And with OnAir is effectively your career mode, but it goes a lot deeper than just a career, right? It goes anything from, you know, airline tycoon to sort of industry tycoon and everything else in between. In terms of buying aircraft, renting aircraft, you got to repair your aircraft, you need to hire crew, you can open up FBOs, you can sell fuel, you can have maintenance departments. It's huge. The scope of this is huge, and I absolutely adore it. So we are working with Crash Logistics. Now, I'm unsure how we're at currently. Will we be able to go flying with this because it's still very much early access and they're working on it. But the main thing to show you is just how cleaner and faster the UI actually is. With OnAir, the systems in the back end was always fast, but as users, we wouldn't necessarily always see it. And sometimes it was a little bit tricky to understand, well, where does this menu be, or how do I get into that, right? So what we have, starting off, we have our airline reputation, and as I said, this is just for our streams. We called it Crash Logistics, and we have a lot of customizable options here. So for example, we can hire staff, but we can also customize our staff. We can give them names, and we can also send them off to be trained. They'll come back and they'll perform better. Same with our aircraft. We can give our aircraft their own registration, we can lease them, we can buy secondhand, we can sell our own, or indeed you can buy them brand new. So what I'm looking at here is, this is just the company lookup screen where we're looking at Crash Logistics. And up here we can see, well look, there, Murph is the owner. You can send me a mail directly through the app. We can have a look at my previous flight logs. We can see the reputation of the airline, currently at reputation level 5, and it's growing. Current cash, and it goes all the way into like the financials, the business management, all of that is included. So our current cash on hand, and then we have our company value, what our income looks like, what assets do we have, and assets, aircraft, staff, all that. How many jobs are pending, how many jobs complete, the aircraft that we have, how many FBOs, how many employees, right? And then we can have a look at our aircraft to say, well, look, we have a Skyhawk and a Comanche, both are located very far away. Then we have our employees, we've Douglas Bader and Murph, and we can add to that. And then we have our different certificates and also our ranks, which is down here on the bottom of the page. So for example, METL is multi-engine turboprop, land. SEPL is single engine turboprop. Then we have something like Helo and then jet. So that's where all of this kind of stuff is, right? And it's very, very cool, as I say. So that's our main kind of company lookup. Then we can go in and have a look at our skills because, well, as we fly, we generate experience points, and we also get our rating up. But it means then we can go off and spend skill points, and these, very gamified, but these kind of unlock better deals or better stuff. So for example, right, a bank loan agreement. You would need to unlock that skill in order to get onto the bank and say, hi, give us a loan. You might want a loan because you want to buy a new aircraft, for example. And then if you progress through that, you can then go to having better interest rates, better negotiating when it comes to parking fees at airports, right? Then you can get into negotiating aircraft ownership, and then you can even get into negotiating landing fees. So let's say, for example, you know, you want to land at Sydney, right? And the rate per landing is like, oh, $1,000. Well, as you progress the company skills tree, every time you kind of unlock an extra skill point and you spend it in something like negotiate landing fees, you can bring the prices of these things down. It's very good. We also have then our FBO, or fixed base operator. So we have different agreements. We have a workshop agreement, meaning now, yes, we can have an FBO and we can put a workshop in there. Now, a workshop means, well, we can fix our own aircraft, provided the workshop level is capable of fixing our aircraft. Again, think of single engine or multi-engine jets, right? We can also do a fuel sale agreement, meaning that, well, we can actually sell fuel at our FBO. So let's say, for example, we open an FBO in, I don't know, LaGuardia. Someone lands in LaGuardia and they say, right, oh Jesus, look, Crash Logistics have the best fuel prices. We're going to buy our fuel from them. That's kind of how it works. And then we have these enhanced queries. Basically, these are more ways in which we can get better jobs. It'll find us more jobs appropriate to what we're doing. Then it goes on into mechanics training and then the workshop service. So it can go all the way from your general aviation all the way through to your big heavy airliners. And some people just want to have the FBO that has the, you know, maximum maintenance facilities, and they'll put this in a region that they know it's quite busy, right? Could be somewhere in Europe, could be somewhere in the States, and people will fly to and from that FBO because they have either the best equipment or they have the best price. And that in itself creates and contributes to the economy mode of your career. It's pretty cool, right? Financial freedom, good morning. Hope you're well. Then we have jobs, so passenger license. Yes, we want to carry passengers. We want to do cargo, which would include dangerous goods. Again, if you're carrying dangerous goods, well, you're going to get a higher rate. They're perishable goods and all this. Medical jobs, that's for air ambulance missions and all the jazz. And then we have these last minute jobs. These are like just-in-time logistics, where the rate is going to be very high, but you need to be able to react quickly. And then the last section is when it comes down to our hiring. This is our HR, our human resource management. Now, in this world, there are three worlds. In this world, we can have and utilize AI staff, meaning that we can have AI pilots, ground crew, cabin crew, all the jazz. So with this, we can enhance our hiring agreements. We can enhance our training facilities to train our own staff. We can also have better instructors, so the length of time to train someone is reduced. Aircraft use, fuel use, better transportation, and then better processes, all relating to our HR. So as your company starts to kind of build, well, this is where you want to kind of make sure you're filling out its capabilities in all the areas. So that's how your skill points work. And as I say, it's very, very good. Very, very good, right? So what else do we have then in here? Males, no. Skills grant, FBO zone. So we opened an FBO a while ago up in Alaska, and we called it Riverbend Ranch. Now, what's pretty cool about this, we opened up our very first factory there, and this is where you get into the industry side of things. Let's say, for example, that you want to be flying cargo from, the raw materials. Think of, it's near a forestry, or it's near a forest. Well, you put in a forestry, and then you have all this wood. What are you going to do with it? Well, you can fly that out then to different factories, or indeed build your own factory to go off and manufacture goods. Let's say it's furniture, right? So you have your raw resources, or your raw materials. You fly to that location, right? You have staff there working, so you have to hire those staff. They're doing the work. You collect the resources. You now fly them to the furniture factory or the furniture manufacturing line, and they'll need more than just wood. They're going to need steel, fabric, glue, all this kind of stuff. And then you can say, right, well, we need to get them to market. They've built all this furniture. Now we need to fly it, to a distribution center, and you can follow all of that around. But you can also be opened up to the entire global economy, meaning that, well, listen, we're flying, one pallet of wood from my factory, but sure, listen, Oz Flight Simmer, well, he's a pallet of nails from his factory, and it's kind of on our route, so we can go to Oz and say, hey, listen, we can take this up the road for you, this is our rate. And he can say, yeah, go ahead. And then when we get there, we're now empty after delivering everything, but sure, Simblitz could have pallets of other materials to go back the way. You can see how this works, and it's all interlinked. It's a persistent world. What's coming, apart from the ability to be able to customize your FBO, you can put in things like, weather socks and buildings and whatnot. There's massive upgrades coming where you can actually build your own airport. Runway, buildings, they're yours. And they're persistent, meaning that if I were to open up a runway, we say in Leitrim, well then, if you're flying in the same world and you overfly, you'll be able to look out the window and say, Jesus, there's Murph's runway in Leitrim. And the same with you. If I'm flying where you're at, I can see what you're building as well. And not only that, if I say, brilliant, here's Linny Bobbins, good morning, Linny, welcome in. If I say, Linny has an airport in Scotland, I'm going to land there. Well, Linny controls the landing rates, the fuel prices, the service and maintenance that's available, right? And also what sort of jobs I might get from there. And it's not just cargo. You can put this into passenger operations. And when you put the last layer on the very top of this, well, the second to last layer on the very top of this, you'll say, okay, I'm doing cargo missions because I have all my industry, and that's now very profitable. Do you know what? I'm going to do some passenger transport now as well. And I'm going to target a very busy airport like London Heathrow, and I'm going to go in with my airline and undercut everyone else. I'm going to have the lowest ticket prices, so I'll have full capacity on my flights. And the reason why you can do this, your industry is able to subsidize your passengers. So at the end of it all, your balance sheet is going to show you the entirety of what's going on. And that's where the economy mode gets really interesting. You could already be operating in Heathrow, and next thing you see, here's Murphy coming in and he's like 20% cheaper. How the hell is he doing that? And then, you know what I mean? Then you start getting the ideas. Or perhaps maybe you're an airline who operates at said airport. Murphy comes in and undercuts you. But because you have another side hustle saying, well, do you know what? I'm going to put my rates up to the airport buying these materials off me. Or I want, if they lower my cost base, well, then I'll leave it alone. So you can kind of see where the negotiation and all this stuff gets in. And there's real players here. You can message them, you can talk to them, you can share routes, you can say, listen, I need someone to bring this down the road. Who can do it? The scale is massive. And then the final layer on top of all of that, you can include your own virtual airlines where people can fly as direct employees, that you can partner up with them, or they just use freelance. They're just freelance pilots, and I do a lot of freelance. That's because it's so it's so open. You can pretty much do anything in a freelance environment. So I love it, So OnAir looking very different. Vex, this is an update that's on the way, but it's class, lads. And you might say to yourself, Jesus, where do I get started? But the good thing about all of this, they've included so much when it comes to trying to kind of educate people on, well, look, this is how you use our software. Now, OnAir is a subscription-based product. because everything lives on servers and all this kind of jazz. However, you can lock yourself into, let's say, a 2-year subscription, and that works out at about $3 a month. It's like €72 for 2 years. Or you can do shorter period of time. The shorter the period of time, the higher the price goes up. If that makes sense. And it's not like massive. You can go, well, it's a £5 a month, or it's like £9 for 1 month. This kind of idea. But the good news is they do have a 7-day free trial. No obligation to go beyond that. If you just want to give it a shot and see where it's at, just hit them up on their free trial. What we're using here is the incoming OnAir Companion. This is all new. That's where we're getting the fancy UI. It's the same options you have, but you have a lot of, you just have an awful lot of kind of upgraded visuals here, and things are just easier to find, I think, and it's very customizable. If I were to compare this, we say, to the current OnAir company, and this is the one we use all the time, again, very, very functional, but little bit slower. I mean, you can see where it's loading here now, and we'll select our world, and you'll see what I mean, right? Yeah, the UI is so fast, Vex. It's so fast. Brabus, good morning. Hope you're well, buddy. So this is using the existing client, and we can see here every week they give you new news, or every couple of weeks. The OnAir Player Handbook. There's a brand new handbook it's a full wiki, start to finish, on how to use it. So these are the different worlds. So Cumulus, it's relaxed and casual. You have AI pilots. The economy is easy. There's no leaderboard. It's for those ideally who just want to kind of start out. Then you go to Stratus, bit more challenge. You can still use AI pilots, but things are that little bit more realistic in terms of costs and all this. Then you have Thunder. Thunder is the most challenging. There's no AI pilots. That means every flight needs to be done by a human, be it yourself or members of your virtual airline. All right. So you can be active in all 3 worlds, but it's 1 profile per world. All right. So if we enter Crash Logistics, this is the one that we were just looking at. Again, you'll just see some of the differences when it comes to the UI. So this is the existing UI. This is how you see it. And again, you can click on these tabs to get an idea of what's going on. You can look at the levels. This is the layout of how we're going to progress our skills tree. You can go in here and have a look at our balance sheet. So we can see, well, look, our income and our outgoing. You can export this into Excel. I mean, you can really dive into this thing. It's savage, right? What else do we have now? If you want to look at our FBO, so we'll go down, here's our FBO. We can see what services are available there. Our fuel, we're selling 100 LL for $7.50 a gallon. And we can go in and say, do you know what? We're going to change that, right? You can go in here and edit it. Workshop details, no aircraft. So there's no work being done here, which is great. We can assess the FBO. And from in here, we can sell fuel to other players if we want. Now you need to be careful. Let's say, for example, this FBO, now it's out the back of Beyond. It's miles away, right? But the reason why it's miles away, it's close to a resource, right? But let's say, for example, we want to sell fuel at our FBO, and we haven't factored in that there's a lot of people now flying up here. We could run out of fuel, meaning that, well, if we land up there and there's no fuel for us, there's penalties. You have to fly in additional fuel. You might have to buy in higher rate fuel. So there's a lot of consequence to what you're doing. Do you know? This is where you order fuel, right? And then you have your different queries, as in, well, what sort of jobs are there, right? So if we go back to our dashboard, and if we click into here, this is our dashboard. These are the freelance jobs. Now you can go for the chartered jobs, or you can go for route jobs. You can find, airlines such as British Airways and say, hey, I'm going to compete. I want to do this route on behalf of British Airways. Well, you can do that. Or you can come in with your own, right? So we have our charters. We have regular routes. Choose an airline to fly for and select a route set. And OnAir have added hundreds, if not thousands, of real world routes, and they're only updated a while ago, so they're accurate, right? Tours is a new one. Think of this as like in Microsoft Flight Sim, think of this as like bus trips, or discovery flights. You can create your own tour and people can fly it. They can get experience points and all the jazz. Your virtual airline, you can join a virtual airline or create your own, right? Or we just go into our charters. So I'm going to look for a freelance charter. All right, so inside here, I'm going to say, right, seek freelance charter jobs. Now, the good news is OnAir has detected where I am because it knows where I am. because, well, I'm not actually there, I'm over here. It knows where I am because it's connected to the sim. It uses Sim Connect. Now, I can go into my options up here and say, well, do you know what? I actually want to fly with X-Plane today. And you can select X-Plane, and it'll connect using XPU IPC, right? Or you can use P3D if anyone's still using P3D. So it'll work with them sims, right? Anyway, we're using Microsoft Flight Sim, so it says connected to the simulator, so it knows where we are. It says aircraft and departure detect, so it knows that we're at November Foxtrot November, and it knows we're in a 208 Grand Caravan. Wonderful news. It knows where we are, right? We can also select the airport sizes, the minimum size we want to fly to. So if you say, for example, the bigger the number, the larger the airport. If you say, I only want to operate, at an airport size of 4 or higher, well, that'll get rid of all these bus strips, all these small little airfields. You put it right down, you'll operate pretty much anywhere. So these are like filters, right? Just Roy, good to see you, buddy. Naughty Gnome, welcome aboard. Hope you're well, man. So we have a couple of options. We have cargo and passenger charters. You have free flight, which is just for 2024 at the moment, but just do a free flight. You have rescue missions, and again, if you're familiar with, say, intentions with SkyOps, this is kind of similar, but it's done through OnAir, right? You have sightseeing. We have that in Flight Sim 24. That's like the start of your career job. It's the same idea. You have medical flights. That could be transporting, crew or supplies, or indeed patients from point to point. You're currently in a 777 over Bournemouth. Nice. CTP, good to see you. Murph, have you done any video on optimizing setup for new PlayStation 5 users? No, but I will. I'll get working on that, CTP. Then we have this one, return to base. Just get a job from your current location to your home base. Now, this is set up. My home base is over in, Augusta in Georgia, right? But you can change that around. So I'm going to look for a cargo and passenger flight. So I'm going to click on this, and it knows where I am. So this is going to start finding me the jobs from this specific airport, and we can see what some of the routes are going to be. And it comes up here on the map. So we can say, oh, look, we got a ton of routes here. So this is where you can have a look at it. You can filter all this by cargo. You can go by number of passengers. You can go by the distance. These are all the jobs. So you can see, okay, here's the job. Here's the base. That's where it's going to. Freelance passengers, that's what you're taking. Your heading, the distance, how much cargo on board, and then what is it? Telecommunication infrastructure. The total weight, that'll have to be fitting in your aircraft. Otherwise, you might have to do 2 runs, right? And then you have how much income you're going to generate for doing this job. And again, this is freelance work. If you had a virtual airline or your own company, this doesn't necessarily go into your pilot's or into your company's account. This goes into you as a pilot account, because you can upgrade your pilot, right? But anyway, what we're looking for here, we want mainly cargo. So we have a lot of cargo up here. So now we're in a Grand Caravan, we can take a lot. You can also see here, there's numbers here, meaning how many flights are attached to this, right? So NFNL. There's a flight now, that'll take us up to the North Island. NFNL, right? We can probably do this. NFNL, but there's a job over to NFNA. NFNA. Let's see if we can find that, because I can see it there on the map, and I'm looking at this saying, do you know, that'll be a nice flight, right? And again, you can use this with live weather and time of day and all this. You can make it very challenging, very, very challenging. You're off to Barbados. Nice. So let me see what's here. So what's it now? Sorry, international. Now sorry. Now there's 5 legs on that, or there's 1 legs. You can also go by distance. What's the total distance you want to do? So you get the idea, right? So you can take on the job, and then everything will be loaded into the aircraft for you. So in this, passengers, you may not want to take passengers, so it'll tell you what you're bringing. Now there's 5 legs on that. That's going to be a little bit too much. NFNR, that's too far away. Now let's say, for example, we couldn't find a route here. Let's say there's nothing really there that's kind of tickling your fancy, but we can do this manually. We can just put in a free flight, and it'll give you some sort of a contribution towards that flight, or change it up. It doesn't have to be cargo. What if you do a medical job, or even a rescue job? You can do all these. It's up to you. This is a freelance mode. Think of this as like free play, right? but I want to land at NFNA. So where are you? NFNA. NFNA, so it's not coming up there, look. Is equal to NFNA. Filter. So it's part of a multi-flight thing, so we can't do it. Clear the filter. Where else can we go?
Hello there.
We can do that job up to NFNL. So we'll go again by cargo. And here's a job here. So if we can open this up. So the Ministry of Health Regional Director, and we're also bringing up some route powder. So it wants 7 passengers and cargo. Now our aircraft is not a passenger configured aircraft. We've gone with the cargo variant. So we don't necessarily want passengers on this. You know what I mean? So this is where you want to be checking and being like, for example, here's 32 passengers that want to do this. You got to be careful what you're looking at here. So for this, I can't find what I'm looking for. I'm just going to go in and do a free flight. So I was going to say, right, well, what do you want to do? Well, I want to do a free flight. So we're going to start off at NFFN, and our first route is going to take us down the road to NFNA. So we put in NFNA. So here's a route for us, right? And we can say, yeah, return to departure airport. No, we're going to say it's a free flight. It's going to give us 1,400 credits, and it'll gain us a little bit of experience. It's just a free flight. That's what we'll do just to get ourselves up and running. All right. Let me see. JK Dog, welcome in. Thank you for the follow, buddy. So we're going to say, right, let's fly this one and see what happens, right? So it's going to load up. And now we'll get some options to say, well, are we at the right location? What's the weight and balance like in the aircraft? How much fuel do we have on board? And then we can go into planning the flight, right? So we're going to say we can show the legs or we can go fly now. We're going to click on fly now, right? So in here we can see, right, this is the mission we're doing. This is the flight. So it's a free flight. The manifest number is this. The aircraft is what we're using. And then we can put in a sim brief plan, or we can generate one here and it'll push it into sim brief for us. That's where you put in your sim brief number. The fuel on board the aircraft, I'm going to call it 80% across the aircraft. And it's going to say, well, what's your destination? NFNA. It's going to give us an alternate. And this is where we now validate our fuel and our payload. So it's now validated all that to say, yeah, you're good. That checks out. You have sufficient fuel, sufficient payload. All is grand. Brilliant. Next up, we have this option, fly now. Now, departure local time, or you can offset it, right? Now, if you want, you can go into your preferences and you can basically say, disable, where is this now? Don't force time in sim. So this is where you can say, well, listen, don't change the time of day for me. Now, for us, we're laughing. We're going to leave that sit. I need to bring up what time of day it is here. Local time, 11:54 we want. So let me see, 11:54. We'll go 6:54. 6:54. So that's going to be 1956. So the UTC offset, when we look at it, therefore we want it to be 6:54. Offset plus 7 will set the time to 06:54 in your simulator. And once you hit this, it'll say, yeah, good to go, we're laughing, and it'll actually change the time of day for you. So we're going to launch this and say fly now. Launching the aircraft tracker, and this is where we can see date, fuel, aircraft, everything's loaded up, where we're flying, information on the runways, METAR, ATIS, all the jazz is there, and it'll give you a preview of your flight. And in addition to all the career and all of this kind of stuff going on, this tracks your flight, meaning you can go back and see, I didn't, turn off my landing light. I was too fast on the taxiway. I banked too hard on this turn. It'll give you a full rundown of the different events during your flight, right? So that's all looking good there. We're going to say start tracking. The Limbics, good to see you, buddy. Mrs. TPHI, welcome aboard. She's upside down and ready to rock. Welcome in. So this is all good. Tracking is now up and running, right? And to take this even further, to make this go even further, right? We'll horse into our plane. We're going to remove the chocks, the rudder, all that jazz. Get rid of all that. Our fuel has been set, right? Payload and all the jazz is already there, right? So, cargo door needs to be closed. There we go. So we're locked, ready to go. Now, in here, we're going to turn on the battery. And turn on our fuel tanks. Now, what's pretty cool here is, right, we got avionics 1 turned on because we can utilize, say, intentions now. And with, say, intentions, we can actually dial ourselves in to on air, which is brilliant. So if we were to click in here, depending on what my call sign is, I forget what my call sign is. Well, let's see what happens. Good morning. We're looking to see what our flight is for today. I might need to hit new flight.
Janet 235 up, standby, checking flight schedule.
They're calling me Janet since last night, so I need to update me call sign. So we'll do that. So I'm going to go into Saint Engines. I'm going to go into my aircraft call sign. And I'm just going to change this to November 235 Romeo Mike. That should save. Okay, so let's see what happens. Officer going away to find out what's happening. We'll continue on what we're doing here. So, quick check. We're going to go prop full into idle. Double check that all our circuit breakers are in, which they are. That looks good to me. And fuel boosters will come on here now in a moment. We'll get some nav lights and what else we want to do. They're looking good. Heater kick, leave it off for the moment. Open up that inertial separator. Park and brake is indeed set. Air conditioning units are turned off. And yeah, we should be good. So, fuel booster pump. Breathe a little bit of life in here. And because this is an LPT6, well, we need to start this as such. So with a PT6, we will engage the turbine, let it reach its maximum speed on NG. Then we introduce the fuel. We monitor our ITT for a hot start. We keep an eye on our NG for a hung start. Basically, if your ITT goes beyond a certain point, fuel out, shut it down. If the NG doesn't rise above 50%, fuel out, shut it down. That's the procedure in the most basic of ways. So we're going to monitor that by up here. Quick look around. We're looking good. All our stuff is being removed. Let's start her up. Great sounds. Okay, NG is climbing. We're at 10%. It should sit around 15 to 18%. She's rising. There's 18. That's top speed. Low idle.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
IGT is looking good. 702 degrees. NG continues to rise. We're up on 50%. Starter off. Fuel boost normal. Standby alt power on. And avionics fully on. That's a good start in the aircraft. Lovely. Now we can keep it in low idle for the moment. We don't need... Do we need aircon? It's 30 degrees. So we want to watch our cabin temperature here on this. Get those vents open. And we continue on here with a couple of checks. So we're going to say, right, we want AC fans on. Temperature, bring it down. We don't need to bleed air for the... Well, bleed air hot, we don't need that. And we'll go in here. So we'll look at terrain. And we're going to go into a flight plan. So we're going to go from NFFN and we're going over to NFFNA, wasn't it? That's it. Enter, enter. That's all looking good. Leave this lad alone. We're looking good here. Reset our barrow. We'll call it 4,000 feet. Squawk 7,000. We're VF4. That's quite okay. Still 30 degrees. Let's go in and have a quick look. Engine condition is good. Battery's looking good. Governors is active. We are air intake and we also have our inertial separator. We have 5% foreign object debris or density. That's what's coming out of there, right? So that's all grand. That's all grand. Electrical systems fine. Cabin 31 degrees. You're getting a little bit warmer, so I want to watch that. You'll notice now that our air conditioning unit is turned off. That's because we have it in low idle. Now, if we were to go to high idle, AC unit just powered on. See that? And that's going to start cooling down this aircraft rapidly. Rapidly. Now we can close the vents here as well, because that's ram air vents, I think. So AC running, that's just going to cool down the cabin now, right? Mac Vision, good to see you. Okay, map. That's where we're going.
Approaching runway 27.
There's our RAS system coming live. Good morning, just looking to check what our flight is for today. Do we need to do anything else? Cool. Fans are high.
November 235 Romeo. Mike, ops. No flight plan info available yet. Advise if you have destination.
Roger, we have destination. We will be flying from November Foxtrot Foxtrot November over to November Foxtrot November Alpha. Okay, electrical systems are looking good. Power in the cabin if we need it. Heater heat don't need.
5 Romeo Mike, copy. Nadi 2 Nalsori. No flight plans filed with ATC. Advise if you need payload or crew info.
Roger, we're okay for now, thanks. Now let's see, we'll tune into ground. Ground, good morning. November 235 Romeo Mike, Cessna Grand Caravan, looking for a VF4 departure over to November Foxtrot November Alpha. Febro, welcome in, buddy. Alright, we're looking good. 21 degrees now.
235 Romeo. Mike, Nadi Tower, runway 02. Winds 130 at 9er. Cleared for takeoff.
Oh wait, should I go to clearance? I should have done clearance. 1-to-1.9er. Clearance, November 235 Romeo Mike, VF4 to November Foxtrot November Alpha. We should have done...
Give me 1 second for that clearance.
Let's see what he says. We want VF4. He'll probably give us an altitude and we find out what happens. I spoke to the wrong frequency first. Good man, Murphy. That's how you break things. Alright, looking good here.
November 235 Romeo Mike, Nadi ground on departure. Maintain VFR at or below 1500. Departure on 119er decimal 1 squawk 4511. Expect runway 02.
On departure, maintain VF4 at or below 1500. Departure on 119er decimal 1, squawk 4511, and we'll expect runway 02. November 235 Romeo Mike. This is for flight following 4, 5.
5 Romeo Mike, read back correct. Ground will be on 118 decimal 1.
4, 5, 1, 1. Roger. 4511. Ground, very good morning. November 235 Romeo Mike. Request taxi, runway 02. Murph, I'm curious what you do as your job. This is my job. This is my job. I'm at this full time.
Runway 02 taxi via Charlie. Hold short of runway 27. Then Bravo, Golf.
Roger, we'll taxi by Charlie Bravo. We'll hold short of runway 27 for runway 02. 5 Romeo Mike.
5 Romeo Mike. On departure, maintain VFR at or below 1500. Departure on 119er decimal 1. Squawk 4511. Expect runway 02.
Roger. Alright. How do we do this now? So we've Delta, or we can backtrack. We can backtrack. Right. We'll backtrack. How's that? Oral is here. Good to see you. Funny enough, Fiji has a large Indian population due to various immigrations. No way. Yeah, the integration's very good. It's class. Like, there's Angels 1-5. It's class. Oh, look, we've lads here. Look. Oh, look at that. Like, once you start integrating everything together, like the experience you can have, it's class. Like, it's just. It's, oh, Jesus. It's absolutely brilliant. You know, until you literally run yourself off the taxiway. Right. We'll go this way. I'm probably as well starting a new flight with say intentions because I tripped it up. I kind of just spoke to ground. Didn't realise there was clearance. Let's see what happens here. Plus you can use Groupie then for all these things as well. Now, in the meantime, OnAir is that's monitoring everything. And like we can use the InSim panels here for OnAir as well. So tracking's in progress. It knows where we are, knows where we're going and what we're doing. It's very good. Flying Winnebago, good to see you, bud. Happy Tuesday, man. Alright, so we're going to be heading on out to the active. Get the lights on. And just watch our brakes here as well. Turn off that AC for the moment. Easy now. We'll back taxi. And we'll head down the road. Looks good, doesn't it? Man, this is a great machine. Isn't it class looking? Okay, we shouldn't need all the runway. So we'll notch the flaps. Get ourselves turned around here. Easy now. Got some nice airplanes with us today. Got a PC-12. Looks like a Fokker Wolf. And a Pack 750. Nice. Hey, 777. Good to see you, man. 20 months, dude. Thank you very, very much. Hope you're well. Right. Let's have a quick look. Get this guy set up. Yeah, we're saying 4,000. ATC, we're telling me 1,500. We'll go 1,500 for the minute, but that's going to be a little bit on the old, isn't it? Alright, autopilot works. Trim. Set for takeoff. Alright, friends. DJ Freemanx, good to see you, bud. Alright, power coming in. Off the brake. Advance to takeoff power. Takeoff power set. Airspeed alive. That's on air beeping to say, yeah, we're tracking you. This is pretty. 80 knots. Yep, see Daisy. Little bit of wind. Gorgeous. Alright, fine, well. Sim Guy, thank you very much indeed. 13 months, buddy. Good to see you. Good morning. Alright, flaps coming in. Easy now. Altitude alert, 1,000 feet to go. Now, looking around, I'm unsure are we okay at 1,500 feet, so we'll ignore that request. And we'll bring it up to 4,000, what we're expecting. There's 4,000. Autopilot. Heading mode. Vertical speed. We're looking good here. What's the RPM? We're right in the limit of our ITT, so we're going to ease off some of this torque now. And we can start a right-hand turn. Easy now. Man, look at the views here. You know, this flight sim stuff is absolute rubbish, right? Isn't it amazing what you can do now? Absolutely amazing. Right, so we'll try saying tensions again, right? Without having to worry about clearances and all the jazz, right? So let me see, we're going to come over to 1200 or 7,000.
Mike Romeo. Mike, contact Nadi departure on 119.1.
Alright, so I'm going to click new flight. And we'll want to go to Nadi departure. Good morning. November 235 Romeo Mike. VFR request. Now let's see what happens.
Mike Romeo Mike, bay position, altitude and request.
5 Romeo Mike is a Cessna Grand Caravan. We request VFR flight following to November Foxtrot November Alpha at 4,000 feet. Cybok, good morning, buddy. Hope you're well. Alright, 4,000 feet.
Romeo Mike, squawk 4471 and ident.
Roger, 4471 and ident for November 235 Romeo Mike. Button 4471. Enter. How do we ident this guy again? Ident.
Mike Romeo Mike, radar contact 5 east of Nadi at 4,000 feet. Nadi QNH 1012.
QNH 1012, 5 Romeo Mike. So now we have VFR flight following. They'll advise us of different traffic. Roger, we have QNH 1012 for 5 Romeo Mike. Alright, easy now. The Limbics, no worries, bud. Frank, good to see you, bud. Have a mortgage renewal today, wish I was flying. Dude. Now, in addition, and this is where the thing starts getting friggin' nuts.
5 Romeo Mike, contact Nadi Tower on 118.1.
118.1, 5 Romeo Mike. Nadi, good afternoon. November 235 Romeo Mike at 4,000 feet on a 090 heading.
November 235 Romeo. Mike, Nadi Tower. Confirm you're inbound for runway 02 at Nadi.
Oh dear. Negative. We are VFR at 4,000 feet. Flying to November Foxtrot, November Alpha. It's having a moment.
Mike Romeo. Mike negative, destination is NFFN. Confirm intentions.
Ah, jeez. No, our destination is November Foxtrot, November Alpha. That's where we're flying right now. It's going to give out to me.
Mike Romeo. Mike negative. Your destination is NFFN. Confirm intentions.
We'd like to cancel flight following for 5 Romeo Mike. Yeah, it needs a reset.
Mike Romeo. Mike Roger. Radar services terminated. Squawk VFR. Frequency change approved.
Have a nice day. The poor old devil. The poor old devil. Now, what I was going to show you in addition to all of that, right? This works and connects. Do you know what's wrong? I didn't set up a flight plan. This all works and connects with Pocket Sky. So Pocket Sky is an app on your phone that connects to Say Intentions. Wait, hang on. I wonder if that's what's wrong here. Hang on. I need to put the flight in. That's why it's freaking out. Company ID, no, that's fine. How do we do the flight plan? There used to be a button for this. Settings, right? I wonder have they changed that? Or does it have to go with the other? Flight plan, we have it now. Type VF4, November 235 Romeo Mike, aircraft type C208, altitude 4,000 feet, airspeed, why not, departing from NFFN, arrival at NFFN. What's our airspeed? 150. Okay, I've now filed that. I wonder will this work better? Say Intentions. Get in there now, we try it again. In the meantime, getting set for work, so I'm watching you. Down to a 92 stream streak. Oh, Jesus. Paul Newman, good to see you, bud. Alright, let's try this again. And hopefully this will work. So that's Nadi. Clearance center 126.7. 126.7. Nadi control, good afternoon. November 235 Romeo Mike. VF4 request. Now let's see what she says. Some high terrain.
5 Romeo Mike, go ahead with request.
5 Romeo Mike requests VF4 flight following to November Foxtrot November Alpha at 4,000 feet.
Romeo Mike, squawk 2677, end ident.
Roger, 2677, 5 Romeo Mike. Easy now. Got some high terrain. Man, this is pretty. There's Creo out there. Man, look at the views. Fiji is absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. Keep me phone up there because I'm waiting on the delivery. Do.
Squawk 2677 and ident. November 235 Romeo Mike.
Do. Okay, so it says flight following is active. Just haven't heard it back from ATC just yet. Can't wait for the Australian World update. Yeah, that's out today, Paul. Yeah, it's going to be awesome, man. That is going to be class. Now, on air. Here's what our live tracking looks like. So it knows where we're going. And we can also see it's giving us a score on our current flight. So our takeoff, we can see aircraft preparation, taxi, departure, initial climb, flaps deployed at the latest on shore final. We'll worry about that in a moment because that's when we're flying, or that's when we're approaching. So you can see where all your different scores are going to come in. So it's tracking us here now at the moment, and you can see from the range wings based on your or the range rings based on our speed, how long it'll take us to get to these areas. So we know we're roughly 15 minutes away, you know. Cinematic clip. Yeah, we fly VATSIM every Thursday, buddy. VATSIM is good, old crack. But it's when you start linking things together between Say Intentions and on air, it's class, like. Let's have a look. Squawk code. Instructions or requests. Despite selecting in-flight. Okay, we have logged a bug. Because that is a bug. Oh, Jesus, Murph terrain. Right. We'll just fly around the mountain. Easy now. Can you give me tips on how to land on a runway centerline and butter the landing? Great question, but two very different things. When you're trying to be accurate, that's the first lesson. Don't worry about buttering your landings or the very soft landings. The first thing you want to nail down is your accuracy, right? So, I'll get around this mountain first. I always advise folks, when you're practicing landings, use the markings on the runway to help. So you'll have your aiming point, you'll have your touchdown point, and then, you know, your center line, you want to be looking towards the end of the runway because that's where you're going to end up. You want to look beyond your initial touchdown zone because if it's not dead straight with the aircraft, that's where you'll run to one side. Then you need to factor in things like wind and all this kind of stuff as well. And then if it was the case that, you know, you're now accurate, then you start working on those softer landings. You know what I mean? Right. We'll give it another blast and see what happens. It could just be having issues this morning. Which can happen. Reached. Okay. Let's see what happens. I always wonder if Microsoft Flight Sim has altitude error in hot air. Well, the baro, it'll change by the barometric pressure, you know? Right, we'll go back to 7,000 and let's see how it behaves now. Centre, good afternoon. November 235, Romeo Mike. VF4 request. Let's see what it does.
5 Romeo Mike. Nadi information Bravo. Arriving and departing runways 29er. Wind 130 at 7. QNH 1011. Bird activity in vicinity. Say position, altitude and request.
Jesus, birds. Roger, we have information Bravo. We request VF4 flight following to November Foxtrot November Alpha. Currently at 4,000 feet. Jesus, look at the mountains.
5 Romeo Mike, squawk 4552 and ident.
Roger, 4552 and ident. 5 Romeo Mike. Now, let's see what happens. Hang left here. Could I ask how to use the rudder correctly to align with the center? Because every time I yaw right, the plane seems to yaw left and have some resistance. There's a couple of factors that might be causing that. Like, using your rudder pedals on approach is grand, but ideally, you know, you shouldn't need to use them unless you're aiming off in high winds. The main thing that will be impacting that is possibly the wind direction and the strength. And, you know, maybe your rudder trim as well. So for each of these control surfaces, you have trim. That just doesn't seem to be working today, lads, does it? What was that? Yeah, I think they're having an issue. We'll close that, sure, and use it as feedback to the team. That's all we can do. Let's see what happens. Andrew, thank you very much indeed for the follow. Welcome aboard. Sometimes you just have issues. But it's not going to take away from this. Look at the state of this. Isn't this gorgeous, man? This scenery, this is absolutely superb, look. Jesus, look. Bit of tunage here, maestro. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. I gotta say, the detail on the aircraft, doesn't it look fantastic? It is absolutely superb. Orwell says, just noticed you stream in parallel on YouTube and vertical. Yes, indeed. It is a thing. So yeah, of all the chats, kind of into one. So it usually works like a charm. Sometimes I to keep it on slow mode though, because things move fast. So yeah, it's a bit of crack for sure. Wicked Lumberjacks, happy Tuesday, buddy. Hope you're well. So we're flying here with OnAir. We're using a bit of Say Intentions, but she's not playing nice this morning, so we'll have to go back into that. So with OnAir, we're tracking our flight. This is our first cargo flight for today in the excellent Grand Caravan. This is where we dodged a little bit of high terrain, but we're heading out here to our first stop, which will be there in just under 10 minutes. So we'll have to watch our owl approach coming in here and take it fierce handy. Now, I'm planning to fly straight in runway 10. So we should see the airport ahead of us now shortly, right? And we'll keep an eye on things. But yeah, man, the scenery here it's just gorgeous. We flew in Fiji before, like it just never gets old. It's stunning, look. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, we will have a release later on today of the new world update. And I'm looking forward to that. Have I tried the map enhancement? I use it on X-Plane. I don't use it on Microsoft. I've never really had the need to use a Microsoft. I mean, out of the box, what they give you, I think is perfect. You can certainly tweak things if you want, but I didn't really bother. Okay, small little course correction. Is it now? Like those ridge lines and everything, man, isn't it absolutely deadly? Jeez, gorgeous. What aircraft are you enjoying the most flying, lads? Of all the aircraft that are available now in the sim, what's your favourite? What one do you find yourself constantly going back to? I gotta say, for me, I mean, the Caravan is starting to become one of my go-to aircraft. I do love the TBM. The TBM 850 is just, it's a class act, man. I love that. Baron from Creo, Comanche from Sumner. Steinerino, a DA42, great machine. Roy with the A300 and MD11, yes. Speedbird, the Phoenix and the Caravan, ooh. Strap with the Cody, yeah, the new Cody is really good, isn't it? The Kodiak. DJ is with the A340. Pieman Jim, hands down, the 777-300. Haven't flown the 777 in ages. I need to start flying that machine more. Commander Balosh, the A320 and the A380. Ooh. Haven't flown the A380 in even a longer period of time. The Grumman Albatross got an update with Sim Update 5. You really enjoyed it lately? That Albatross is awesome. Freebro likes the Caravan, the F-14, the Huey, and the 738. Ooh. Yeah, Cinemac, it's nuts, man. Spirit, they're a long time on the go, aren't they? Alright, you can probably drop some altitude. We'll drop around 500 feet a minute. We'll keep that inertial separator on. Blimp for the win. Blimp for the win. Hot air balloons and blimps. Yes. That's what we need more flying of. Jesus, we did fly the blimp. We did it on St. Helena during our Napoleon series. Mother of Janie, that was a tough flight. In general, all Airbus aircraft. Nice, Commander Balosh. To be honest, as long as it's rated as an airliner, I love flying these, old and new. Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of options now. Like, that's what's so mad about all of this. We have so many options. Like, general aviation, that was always where my passion was. I love the airliners, don't get me wrong, but general aviation, it gives you access to this kind of stuff, you know? Uniform Goose is here. Good to see you, buddy. Sumner likes the Asobo CJ4. Flight Effects are working on a Challenger 350. That should be pretty gnarly. No sign of Mr. Postman yet. The Boise, good to see you, bud. Earl says, for me, the past few weeks, I've only flown the Aerosoft Twin Otter. Twin Otter's a great machine. Like, it was way better back in the day. But yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed flying that thing. It's a great plane. I'd love to see, like, a better version of it. A more up-to-date version of it. Because I remember when Aerosoft first had that, they had different variants of it, do you know? But yeah, it doesn't seem to be kind of all the rage now. What's your speed here, Murph? Ease off. A bit of torque. I think I see a runway off there in the distance. That's what we're heading for. This is live weather as well. It's mad, isn't it? Oh, you've modded it. Ah. You're Black Square in the twatter. Ooh. You need to share that. Considering I'll be an airline pilot next year, it just makes sense to fly and learn the Phoenix A320. Speedbird, that's awesome, buddy. Jason, isn't it great to think that, you know, the sim can actually assist you with your real-world training? I mean, I've used flight sims for years with real-world flying. No sign of delivery man. The man with the van. No sign of it yet. It's on flightsim.to. Oh, is it? Ah, okay, we'll have to check it out. Simblitz, yeah, his favourites are always the M Scenery ones. Oh, Jesus, though. Right. Alright. Autopilot coming off. We're going to ease back our power. Easy now. 120 knots is grand. We can prop up. I don't know. I'm waiting on a couple of deliveries today. Boxes of stuff. So I have to keep an eye out for them. With the latest Netherlands City update, I'm currently removing all the tree blobs for the city centre, replacing them with normal biomes. Oh, come on, Roy. Jesus, man, that'd be brilliant. Okay, we're within the arc for flaps, so we're going to go with one notch of flaps. That'll lift the nose up on us. What is with Microsoft Flight Sim and trees? Just when it comes to photogrammetry, it kind of freaks itself out. Now, in a lot of places, it is able to replace trees. But, yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes not so great. Alright, we're a little bit high here. We'll continue on in. Our speed is dropping a bit. We do have a notch of flaps. We are descending nicely, 1,000 feet a minute. This will get us on that 3-degree glide. We don't really need it. Ah, sure, come here, isn't it only gorgeous? So, continue on our way down. Just above idle. Second notch of flaps. That'll really help us now with our speed. There's a bridge. Jesus, man, look at the scenery. Isn't this gorgeous? The sim is looking so good. And I'm still using reshade, but like it does very little. That's reshade off, so this is the default sim. And it's still gorgeous. The only thing I use with reshade, it just kind of fixes some of the tones and does a little bit of sharpening. That's it. Alright, easy now. There should be some sort of tool that automatically recognizes these blobs and replaces them. The SDK should be able to do it, Roy. I remember they were talking about this before. So when they were getting the data in, it goes through whatever to, you know, appear it all. I don't think it's working as intended, you know. Speedbird yoke. So I have the Moza yoke. I also have the CLS 60 yoke, but I usually fly with a HOTAS. Whoa, the wind here, and the thermals. So I'm using Virpil stuff at the moment. So I have a Virpil VPC Warbird base with the Constellation Alpha stick, and then the Mongoose throttle. I'm very happy with this setup, and you know, you just get used to it. But I do change it up every now and again. When we do our Thursday flights, if I'm in the Phoenix, I use the Airbus gear from Wind Control. It's very good. Exactly, included the trees. No, you're using the exclude polygon tool. Ah. So when you use that, Roy, the exclude polygon, that just wipes anything that's generated in that space. Isn't that right? Alright, easy now. Pappy's coming up. Speed, a little bit fast. We'll fix that on the rollout. Oh, she's bumpy. Easy now. Easy now. So we have our touchdown point, then we have our aiming point. So see the piano keys? See the big massive ones kind of halfway down? That's where you want to be touching down. Our aiming point is just before that. As best you can. Accuracy over kind of soft landings always, you know? Now we're after missing that, but sure, look it. There's idle. We were too fast coming in, that's what happened. Alright. Get her down. Into beta. There's 60 knots, bit of manual braking. Out of beta. And we'll exit off here to the right. Flaps coming in. Alright. It's like the longest landing ever. Yeah, you can now filter some stuff out, like street lamps, buildings, photogrammetry. Oh, nice! Nicely done, lads. Alright, our first leg is complete. We'll park in here behind that PC-12 of Angels 1-5. Alright, sit tight, park and brake, set. We'll go low idle. Looking good here. Looking good there. And power out.
Engine off time logged. The flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
There we go. So go back into OnAir in a moment, or OnAir in a moment. We'll have a look. Let those props spin down. Feather them out there so they just do their thing. Avionics, standby, and battery. Alright, there's a first flight done. So we're going to OnAir now and check on our progress. So your flight has been monitored and complete. Experience has been added. Local radio, if you wanted to, you can actually turn in local radio or tune in local radio. Have a listen, right? No stations found in Fiji. Interesting. Operations, job finished, grand. So free flight, reputation increase, reputation based on our score. We got a 97.6, so we need to check that. Comfort bonus, safety bonus, aircraft, soft landing, and flight score bonuses. Let's look at the record. We lost points here somewhere. Yes, our landing. What happened? Our speed. It didn't like our speed. And again, we can go back in here and use this as a full training aid. So we can say, well, look, our touchdown should have been here, right? In actual fact, it didn't happen until we got down here somewhere. So we didn't actually touch down until here, which is the problem, right? So we can see all the graphs of our flight plan in terms of our altitude, our power, and all the jazz here. The stats that we've done, and then what events. So we can see what happened at all these key areas. Descent started, approach phase started, flap set, landing phase, touchdown speed 75, smooth landing was achieved, and then arrival taxi phase. So it gives you a full rundown of your flight, and this is all with OnAir. It's all part of OnAir. They do this anyway, which is very, very good. So we'll come back here. We're going to OK the flight, and that closes it off. We get the points and the XP, all the jazz, and it's added to our account. So next up, well, we'll choose another flight. So we go back into dashboard, and we're now at a different airport, NFFN, and we'll see what options we have for other airports. So we're going to browse the logistics center. It knows where we are. We're going to look for jobs at this airport, or again, we can go into free flight. So here's some of the flights it's able to do. And like, some of them are massive. You could be out for friggin' hours. Do you know what I mean? So NFNL, that'd be potentially a good one. Now it wants us to take 8 passengers. We don't have the aircraft configuration for this. Sun-dried reef fish and also conservation rangers. So that's what the mission is. We're to take fish and some rangers up to NFNL. That's pretty cool. So I think we're going to head up there. That's going to be our next flight. What do you reckon, lads? Unless, of course, we can get out to one of these islands. In fact, there's a cool little airstrip out here. We'll do that one. That's what we'll do. NFNB. So we're going to do a free flight, and I'm going to select NFNB. NFNB. There she be. Because this is just going to be a nice flight. So we're going to say fly this. And in terms of the time of day, right? Live time out here, by the way, it's like the middle of the night, I think. So live time, yeah, it's like 10 o'clock. So we want to go out to like early morning. We'll say dawn, right? So we're going to fly this now. We're going to say 80%. We're going to validate destination NFNB. Validate. And now our UTC offset. So we want this to be what in the sim? What did you say it was? 546? Let's go 446. Let's make it kind of, you know, 446. Doot, doot. Start. Let's see what happens. Creo, have a good one, bud. We'll see you soon. Okay, that's where we're going. Short flight. So we'll try all this again. Do-do-do-do-do. I can hear a wonderful airplane. Where is he? The noise of that Focke-Wulf. All right, so we'll try it this way. Battery, 1 notch of avionics. Get some lighting turned on here now as well. I mean, look at the lighting of this thing, isn't it gorgeous? Right, that'll do us. Look at the state of that. Isn't that amazing looking, isn't it? Right, let's try our stuff. Fuel. Idle. And be careful because we are running some ITT at the moment, so there's a bit of temperature in there. Let's see what happens. Time to get in front of the keyboard for some work. Sumner, have an awesome day, bud. Have an awesome day. Right, start her up, Betsy. Good. Now let this guy spin as much as we can, because ideally we want to let the ITT drop a bit. Alright, hello.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
690. NG's rising. Over 50%. Alright. There's some lights on here as well. Calling 2,000 feet. This is going to be pretty. Okay, keep it in. We'll keep it in low idle for the moment, although it is hot. All right, off the brakes, and let's boogie. This is class looking. Oh heck yeah! Man, look at that Focke-Wulf. That's savage. All our lights are on. We've deployed a notch of flaps. And we'll taxi on out. Temperature's 27 degrees. We'll high idle this one. Aircon on. Easy now. This is pretty. Temperature's coming down. Flying for America, welcome in. Big Al is here. Good to see you, Al. Hope you're well, buddy. Flight plan. I'm going to change this. Rax, welcome aboard. Thank you for the follow. NFNB. It should be. Alright, guys, let's turn around. Station. Alright, time to go flying. So flaps are set to 1. Quick check out the window. Alright, we're looking good. Alright, power coming in. Off the brakes. And we're rolling. Bob, welcome in. Alright, take up power set. Airspeed alive. OnAir's tracking. There's 60 knots. 70, we're getting light now. Yep, see Daisy. That just never gets old. It just never gets old. It is class looking. Alrighty, flaps in. Easy now. So we're going to head up to 2,000 feet. Here's 1,000 feet a minute on our climb. Man, that's pretty, isn't it? Look at those sky colours, man. Beautiful. Alright. So we got some really nice terrain over this way. What's that ITT? Ease off the power a little bit. I'm just gonna mosey over this way, lad. Look at this, lads. Isn't that class looking? Beautiful. So we're going to head up the coast a little bit before we head straight out. So we'll ramble over this way a bit. Give it a 360. Jesus, look at that. 16 degrees. Lovely. Jesus. Isn't it mad, isn't it? That's gorgeous, isn't it? So up to 2,000 feet, hold us level here. And we are looking good. Jeez, that's gorgeous, man. That is absolutely superb looking, isn't it? Beautiful. Dan, good to see you, bud. Flying for America. Have a good one, mate. Oral, yeah, 100%, buddy. 100%. Captain Flight Sim 2024 is with us. Looking good, man. Man, look at that lighting. Jesus. Marcy Reagan, yes, this is the new Black Square Caravan. It's very nice. That lighting is superb. Man, look at it. Beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous. And the added kind of head scratching with the friggin', you know, the weather, right? So far so good. Have to agree there. Not really into prop planes. This thing is brilliant. Yeah, dude, it's so good. It is so good. It's rubbish, says Osflight. Yeah, load of crap. Look at the state of it. You could have got a 2-year-old to make better than this. Viper Strike, good morning. Hope you're well, buddy. Happy Tuesday. Easy now. Rambling up. Even the lighting though, like, isn't it absolutely gorgeous looking, isn't it? Look at the state of it. I mean, the hack of it, lads. Gorgeous. So yeah, we're doing some Formula 1 later on. This is going to be quite the change. From nice, relaxing, chilling out, enjoying the views to... Oh, jeez. I work with a 2 away at my work in South Africa. We fly to bus trips. Ooh, nice. That's awesome. Recently completed an aviation course in East Midlands, and the guy teaching us used to pilot these. That's awesome. Grand Caravans, they're just an exceptionally good airplane. And it's gas, because, like, you know, some of the FedEx feeder ones that are still flying today, some of those are 30 years old. No bother. Still belting on. It's kind of mad. Now, we need to ramble over to that island over there, look. So we're going to make a turn for it now. And what we might do, we'll approach the kind of southeastern point of the first little island, and then we'll fly ourselves into it. So we'll do something that looks a little bit like that. So 2,000 feet, speed is good. We'll keep the inertial separator on, keep our lights on. We're not wasting electricity. Oh, don't worry, Earl. It takes, hang on. I'll fix that. Hang on, we'll fix that. Stand by. Do. Okay, would you try it again, please? Murph, I was just about to intercept you and then my sim crashed. Oh no! I don't believe it. If you want to try it again, that I'm hoping it works. Right. Yeah, that's what it does. So, like, the control we have on Discord is usually when new folks join, given just a little bit of time before we allow posting of links and all this crack. It's just a security thing, but we're good. The Impossible Phase, I'm back from the gym and about to do some caravan flyage once I've had lunch. Good man yourself. Hope you're well, buddy. Happy Tuesday. This is particularly pretty this morning. We're here flying around Fiji, and we're using some OnAir cargo ops as we go exploring. Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, of course, not in any way whatsoever impresses Oz Flight Simmer. He much prefers more realistic graphics like Roblox and Minecraft. But we have to take what we're given, lads. You know, take what we're given. This is terribly nice. Fiji is one of these places I want to visit in the real world. If I planned me holiday to New Zealand right, I could have went to Fiji. I mean, I was so close. There seems to be more CTDs in some update 5 than on some update 4, but it could be an add-on compatibility problem. I would say so, Eamon, yeah. I mean, touch wood, I haven't got a CTD yet. By the end of Friday night, we'll know where we stand, because I mean, we streamed last night, we're streaming today, we'll be in the sim tomorrow, we're streaming twice on Thursday and once again on Friday, so it'll be busy. Yeah, Viper, 100%, buddy. Fiji just reminds me of Lister from Red Dwarf. I know, man, it's gorgeous here. What was the name of that place that Riker used to go on holidays? What was that world called? The planet? Real Trekkies will know the answer here now. Man, look at this. This is beautiful. Ryza 3, in fact. Wasn't it? Ryza 3? Yeah, I think it was Ryza 3. Brilliant. That's fantastic, man. Oh, this is terribly pretty. Jesus, look at this down there. That's amazing looking. Beautiful. That's gorgeous, man. Was it not the Galapagos? No, well, they have the Galapagos in the sim. We were there. It's actually, do you know, we haven't been there in a while. We might have to go back just to make sure it's still there. Like, you know what I mean? Man, that's beautiful looking. Beretta is the name of this airport we're coming up to. Look at the detail in the water. Isn't that class looking? The masking. Absolutely gorgeous. And like, right? Like some of the real world cargo walks that happen here, like, could you imagine? Isn't that the same for a Bishop's hat, as explained by Bishop Brennan? Yes. Looking good, lads. Looking good. Oh man, look at that. Look at the masking. That is incredible looking. Isn't it beautiful? Gorgeous. Man alive, look at this. We might fly around the island and come back in the far side. Because that is so pretty. Actually, so our airport is over here somewhere. That's mad looking, man. See where it all drops in there in the middle. Volcano, maybe? It doesn't really look like a volcano. Damn pretty though. Damn pretty. All the islands then out here, look. Jeez, there's tons of them. Don't tell them we forgot our cargo. I'm from the Virgin Islands. Do you know any good dating apps? Jesus. Very good. What's the ICAO code? It is November Foxtrot, November Bravo, NFNB. Pretty cool looking. Ooh, a bit bumpy over the mountains. Beautiful. You'd love to know what it'd be like to visit here, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's pure... It's paradise, like. A little bit of limitation on the data over this side. Seems to correct itself up here. Man, that sun coming up is going to be gorgeous. Easy now. Keep the mountain there on the left. Like a little port. There's actually a coast road here that goes all the way up and around. That's awesome. So that's where we are in Navigraph as we're circling around. Isn't it pretty? It's a mad looking island. The island is an eroded volcanic crater according to Wiki. Ooh. Been to Fiji a bunch, amazing place. Flew a 23-year-old 747 to LAX once. It was the best flight you ever had. No way. 747, yeah. They were just a comfortable airplane. Like, I mean, I gotta say, the Dreamliner is now my most favourite comfortable airliner to go flying in. Either that or some of the older 7.5s or 7.6s. The newer stuff, man, I don't know, like the A320, A321, forget it. Keen Lafford is here. Good to see you, Keen. Happy Tuesday, bud. A380 wasn't bad, actually. But some of the seating and all that, like, they're just gone. You've no room. They're not comfortable. You know, the aircon and the vents don't do all that well. I'd say bring back 1950s style. You know what I mean? ERJ, top class for newer built aircraft. Ooh, A350 was lovely. I haven't been on an A350. Bring back the 1950s type of flying. Real cutlery, you know. That's the way it should be. About 10 feet between you and the next person. Wouldn't that be just amazing, wouldn't it? Oh wow, look at that. Look at those sky colours. You were in first class. What? In a 350, Bob? No way. You big lucky thing, you. Yes, lucky thing. Or words to that effect. Alright. Continue to circle around. That's Bio Games, I don't know where you are. Are you at the runway? Nope. We don't know where he is. Oh, that is the runway. On balls, right? Okay. Right. Autopilot off. Is that sun coming up? Oh, look. The sun is about to rise. Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at that. Right. It has cigarette burns on the seats, right? Accidentally got the TDS GTN-XI. Do we need to play with the settings in order to do ILS approaches? Shouldn't have to know. That should work out of the box. Alright, power come back. Easy now. So we think it's in there somewhere. We're within flaps range. Notch of flaps. Get our altitude down. This is terribly pretty. Because they're smooth on the outside and crunchy on the inside, Bob. That's why they're so dang nice. Alright, drop at the speed, get the altitude down. Easy. Unlike an armadillo. Armadillo? Alright, start turning in. Speed is good. Rate of descent is good. I asked because Say Intentions Radio was being a bit iffy. I had the same experience at the Impossible Phase. I've sent them a bug. So, I sent them a bug report, so there could be just an issue. Crunchy on the outside, smooth in the middle. Ooh. It is working, but it was kind of getting tripped up. So I just sent them just a quick bug report. So they'll be on it. Alright, full flaps to this one. Need to watch the owl trees here. Brother was in an A350 1000 Qatar, A380 800 Emirates a month ago. He said the best experience in aircraft ever. No way, Commander Balash. That's awesome. Jesus, look at this. This is gorgeous. Easy now. Watch the trees. Man, that's so cool. The trees are cut down. Like, this is actually pretty accurate. Easy. 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 Hold the nose. Touchdown. Into beta. Diesel, under 60 knots. On the brakes. Flaps in. Out of beta. Stick her into low idle. Beautiful. We're gonna see us turned around. Kinda sort of nearly. I'll do us. On the brakes. Big man, just good to see you. Ever since the new update, I'm getting bad stutters and it disables all engines. Really? What are you playing with, Big Mantis? As in console, PC? Alright, looking good here, looking good there. Looking good there.
Engine off time logged. The flight is finished.
Alright.
It has been monitored by OnAir.
Well, now that went terribly well. Beautiful. You're on the PC. Have you deleted your shader cache? You'll want to get in and delete all your shader cache stuff. It's only just started happening. If you're getting stutters, usually shader cache. Jesus, that was lovely, wasn't it? That was a beautiful flight. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, into OnAir. Let's have a look. Oh, she looks happy over there. So, free flight bonus, that's good. Comfort, safety, aircraft, soft landing, short runway. So we got a load of bonuses there, look. That's awesome. Let's go and look at our flight record. We achieved 100%. 100%, lads, that's brilliant. Hello there. So our entire flight, 36 out of 36. Aircraft prep, grand. Departure. Then we got our landing. So, landing rate, 99 feet a minute. Flaps deployed at touchdown, perfect. Landing gear down. Bounces all within normal stuff. What's this now? OC, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Just that was a lovely flight, wasn't it? That was gorgeous. So, like, we took off, we flew up the coast a bit, crossed over, had these beautiful kind of water mask and stuff going on here, and then did a lap of the island and then in. What a cool little airstrip. Out by the village here, look. That was awesome. Setting the bar high for the next flight. That was awesome, man. That was really enjoyed that. So we had 2 flights with OnAir. OnAir has tracked everything superbly. We had an issue or two with Say Intentions, but I'll wait till we get some word back from the lads. As I said, it could be just just an issue they're having this morning. So that's us. We'll close off the normal one. We'll bring you back into the companion. Just as a nice kind of there's updates. Just to give you a nice kind of comparison between the two of them. Oh, Hamilton is gorgeous, yeah. Hamilton out in Australia, gorgeous. Up the road from Mackay. Yeah, we have flown there many a time. That is a beautiful setup. Okay, so you can see how fast everything loads here, look. Now, so training, aviation ground. But back up it here. And we want to go into flight logs. And these are our flights here. Okay, this is still kind of alpha, beta stuff, so you mightn't see everything. Flight dispatch, select aircraft, C208. Yeah, it wants to find out what we're doing. A lot of this stuff hasn't been activated yet using OnAir, but you can just see the difference between both interfaces. It's class, isn't it? Cannot wait to learn more on this companion, and eventually when they start rolling it out, it's going to be absolutely class, lads. It really is. Getting ready for the Oz update tomorrow. Jorg was on Aussie Morning TV today announcing the update. Ooh. Yeah, it's due out a little bit later on today, our time. And yeah, it was on 9 News. So yeah. King Mayo, welcome in, buddy. Hope you're well. Right, lads, that's going to do us for today's flight. We're back at 1900 Zulu this evening in about 7 hours' time, or just under 7 hours' time. We're going to be doing some F1 tonight, racing in Australia, China, Japan, and Miami. That's our plan for this evening's race, or races. So looking forward to that. Again, I'm just so happy to be able to show you what OnAir are working at in the background, and also the integration with Say Intentions, which it you know, your experience in single-use flight sim. Well, we have all these options now, and you can expand that down to go into the multiplayer, the virtual airline, do all that kind of stuff as well. It's absolutely class. So we'll have more of this next week. For the rest of the week, as I said, Formula 1 tonight. We have the news tomorrow. On Thursday, we're going to be taking the L1011 out for part 2 of our pilot training. And then we have a flight from Tromsø to Svalbard on Thursday night with the A320 on VATSIM. And then on Friday, well, we're going to Australia. This is where we explore the New World Update. We're going to start off out of... where are we going? Canberra, and we're going to head down to Melbourne, right? Canberra down to Melbourne. So looking forward to that one as the rest of the week goes on. But until this evening, thank you all so very much indeed for tuning in. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you a little bit later on. Take care. Lads are over there, so we'll have to do a bit of a chicane here. Mother of Jesus! Give out!
What the hell? I'm somersaulting, lads. Here.
Did you just see what happened to Give? Are you in the drink? You ended up in the
water. This is possible.
Did you just see what?
There's I'm upside down in the water. I had a terrible accident.
That was
wasn't even moving.
That was like, oh Jesus!
Oh man, that was so funny.
Steiny, are you watching Twister or something? I mean, that was just.
Few men even consider the possibility of life on other planets. Yet, across the globe.
Ah, Jesus! What was that? I was about to say something and you hit me in the head. Christ! Hang on. I found more of these flamingos. Jesus! Did you hear that bang? Did you? How do we fix this? Right, don't panic, fans.
Hello.
Is Mike Roch in the chat? Mike Roch? That's brilliant.